right, guys, welcome back to another video. I have a couple of things to go over this morning. Hope everyone is enjoying their weekend. But before we do, if you do enjoy the channel, you do enjoy the video, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Also check out my Spotify. Link is in the description. So we have some major news here that could really affect the release and development life cycle of many games. And this is something that I think right now in the industry that is really plaguing it, even without something like this happening, is the overall length of time it takes to develop a game and the amount of cost that goes into it. And one of those things that voice actors are going to be struggling with going forward here for the foreseeable future is the use of AI in video games. And because of that, the SAG-AFTRA union has went on strike. The voice actors for major video games and major video game publishers are now going to be holding out here for a new deal. And we have seen over the last a little bit here major game developers at Microsoft unionizing. You have Bethesda, you have Blizzard. So this is what could be holding out for the future when it comes to these unions going on strike and trying to create new deals for the employees at those development studios, which, I mean, if you've seen what's happened over the last year, it's been pretty crazy for the amount of closures and people losing their jobs. But this year is going to definitely have some effects, as the strike was called after the union failed to negotiate acceptable protections around the use of AI for its members. It has said last September, SAG-AFTRA members approved strike action if the union was unable to get terms it considered acceptable while negotiating the interactive media agreement. And specifically, they say some of the companies listed offer performance services for several game developers and publishers. Blindlight has contributed performance work to series such as The Elder Scrolls, Halo, Destiny, and Fallout, while Formosa Interactive has worked on Call of Duty games and other high-profile titles like Death Stranding and God of War. And they say, although agreements have been reached on many issues important to SAG-AFTRA members, the employers refuse to plainly affirm in clear and enforceable language that they will protect all performance covered by this contract in their AI language. Now, President Fran Drescher has added this, saying, "We're not going to consent to a contract that allows companies to abuse AI to the detriment of our members. Enough is enough. When these companies get serious about offering an agreement our members can live and work with, we will be here ready to negotiate." Now, there is an update to this story. They say the Video Game Producers Party they made a statement here to the Interactive Media Agreement, Audrey Cooling, saying, "We are disappointed that the union has chosen to walk away when we were so close to a deal, and we remain prepared to resume negotiations. We have already found common ground on 24 out of 25 proposals, including historic wage increases and additional safety provisions. Our offer is directly responsive to SAG-AFTRA's concerns and extends meaningful AI protections that include requiring consent and fair compensation to all performers working under the IMA. These terms are among the strongest in the entertainment industry." So we don't know what's going to happen here, how long this strike is going to last, but it seems like it really is only about AI, and the future holds for voice actors when you're going to be able to use AI to generate a lot of the voices that you hear within video games. I think AI is going to have a major role, especially for like open world games and the immersiveness of games and interacting with NPCs that previously would have really not said anything or would have just had the same generic line that every other NPC was saying. You're probably going to have AI being able to come in there and just generate interesting lines when you're walking around the world to make the overall world more immersive. Now, I don't know what that would mean for some of these actors. Would it take work away from them in that sense? Probably not there, just because nobody was actually voice acting some of those characters. And I also think AI is going to have a role in creating sound effects and taking away the monotonous tasks of having to put singular sound effects on little things across the entire game if you can just have AI generated and do that. And that's obviously something that is of concern for people working in these studios and working on the games, doing those roles. Now, for the major games, the major productions, and the single player experiences where you have huge voice actors that really make the game as immersive as it is, I don't know if that's going to be affected, but we will see what happens here and what provisions get added in as they continue to negotiate, and it'll be interesting to see how long it takes for them to come to some sort of agreement, because there are going to be games affected by this, of course. I mean, there's going to be some games that are delayed, some games that are going to have to be pushed out because of this strike. Now, one of the gamers are from the gamers perspective are looking at this and saying, well, is this GTA 6 or is my favorite game going to be delayed? Looks like GTA 6 won't be affected by the SAG-AFTRA strike. And it says here, despite earlier confusion over the status of the game, according to a Kotaku reporter, Ethan Gosh, a representative for the union, has said that performers working on the game are allowed to continue working on the projects. So they're still going to be able to go forward with GTA 6, and I would assume the voice actors who are working on GTA 6 are being compensated pretty well, and I don't know how much AI would be going into that game. So if you're out there worrying about GTA 6, looks like that will not be something that you will have to worry about. Now, there is something really cool happening here that I hope actually does come to fruition, and something that we do get, and that is Legacy of Kain coming back, whether that is a remaster or a brand new game in the series. And it looks like we're going to be getting remasters if it does end up being completely true, or maybe it was just something that they put out there and maybe the game isn't even anywhere in development. But this is spotted by a user on Reset Era that a statue of Legacy of Kain's protagonist is on display at the San Diego Comic-Con, featuring a logo, they say, for Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered, which would kind of indicate here that the cat's out of the bag. They've kind of accidentally revealed that these games are going to be coming back here. You can see the statue here for the games, and then on the plate under there, the little descriptor that it has, it says Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered, and then a QR code that will bring you obviously to some more information. I don't know if it's about the game or about the statues, but either way, it looks like the cat may be out of the bag here, and Legacy of Kain is finally going to be coming back, which I think a lot of people are going to be excited for. It really has a pretty strong following of people who wanted a new Legacy of Kain, or it to come back for a very long time. Now, the original entry, Blood Omen Legacy of Kain, was developed by Silicon Knights, they say here, under the direction of Dennis Dyack, and published by Crystal Dynamics in '96. And then Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver arrived in 1999. So it's been a very, very, very long time since these games have been in people's hands. And I think if they were to make this remaster, it would sell very well. Then I would also think that that would signal that fans, gamers, do want a new one into the series, and that I think would kind of trigger that. I feel like maybe putting out these remasters is kind of the first step to see, do people really care about this IP? Do people really care about this game? We'll do that, which would cost obviously less in the development to do the remasters of the games versus making a brand new game. And if it sells very well, maybe we will eventually get a brand new game. Now we have some information here about Paradox Interactive. It says profits collapse after the Life by You cancellation. So Paradox Interactive right now is not doing very well. The company has released their second quarter financial results, and they say that the profits have fallen from 27.1 million to just 2.6 million year over year. It's a 90% drop, they say, attributed to the cancellation of the life simulator Life by You, which would kind of I think signal here that Paradox Interactive is in some big trouble. And with everything that's been happening within this industry, who knows what that means for the future of this studio. They say comments on the financial reports. Paradox CEO Frederick Wester says that the company have mixed feelings about where things stand right now, saying on one hand, our core business has performed very well, but on the other hand, we made the difficult decision to cancel the release of Life by You as the game would not be able to meet our expectations. Looking at the quarter results, we've released several strong expansions with good quality to our core games, which has a positive impact on the top line and provides a good cash flow from operating activities. The bottom line is sadly weighed down by the write down of Life by You. It is painful, but gives us a strong motivation to further improve our operations. So who knows what's going to happen here? And obviously, this is a company that's also worked on or created City Skylines 2, which had, I think, a lot of issues when that game did release. I mean, that game has been delayed, I believe, for the console. It was supposed to also be out on the console and the Xbox, I think in Xbox Game Pass, and it's been delayed over and over again. So who knows what's happening here at Paradox Interactive, but it may not be a very bright future, especially after we've seen everything that's happening in the industry. I wouldn't be surprised if they come out, lay off a bunch of people, close the studio. Who knows? I mean, nothing really is off the table. Now we got a pretty cool announcement here for Mortal Kombat 1, the Chaos Reign, bringing the story DLC and new characters. And I'm really excited for this because I loved MK1. I loved the story, and I'm excited to jump back into this with these new characters. You can see them here. But this is everything that you need to know. It says that it's an expansion called Chaos Reigns. They're bringing new characters and new story chapters to play. I mean, if you play through these stories of Mortal Kombat 1, they're just a lot of fun. And there are 6 DLC characters: Conan the Barbarian, Cyrax, Ghostface, Noob, Cybot, Sector, and the T-1000. You can see them all here in the picture. So I'm pretty excited about that. Now, the release date for this will be September 24th this year. Xbox Series XS, Windows PC, PlayStation 5, and the Nintendo Switch. It's still hilarious to me that this game came out on the Nintendo Switch, and all of the videos is just how bad it looked. And yeah, that was a pretty terrible release there for Mortal Kombat, and you can really see the Switch aging. So excited about this though, to play the new story and check out all of these characters. And finally, the Gamers lawsuit is back in the news. If you remember the Gamers lawsuit, it was Gamers against Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard, and the deal there, the acquisition. And they have sent a letter to the court who is hearing the appeal of this. And it's an interesting thing here. We will just quickly read through it. And of course, the appeal by the FTC. They're still trying to do that. And obviously after the price raises and everything, they have put out another letter. But this is from the Gamers lawsuit. They say, "Dear Ms. Dwyer, plaintiff appellants writes to notify the court that Microsoft recently announced another price increase to its content subscription and cloud gaming product Game Pass Ultimate from $16.99 to $19.99 per month, a 17% increase. Microsoft communicated directly with the plaintiff appealing Beowulf Owen, who is one of the more than 34 million subscribers to Game Pass. Microsoft informed him that his Game Pass subscription will be increasing in price for the second time," and then they attach it. The price increase, which is the second price increase since the district court denied plaintiffs' motions for preliminary injunction, raises the prices of Game Pass to $19.99 per month. Prior to the district court's denial of plaintiffs' motion for preliminary injunction, the price of Game Pass Ultimate was only $14.99 per month. Thus, Microsoft's latest price increase establishes a 33% increase since the district court allowed the merger to consummate before plaintiffs could be heard on the merit. And that's obviously the description. And then here is kind of the complaint. The price increase is relevant to plaintiffs' appeal. It shows that plaintiffs are in fact suffering monetary harms that they asserted they would suffer, and that their expert economist predicted. And then they go on to say, as discussed in plaintiff's appeal, the district court ignored this unrefuted expert evidence. And then they just continue to list different references to some documents that I guess where they talked about this and what would happen in the industry. And they followed it up here and say, here the acquisition would benefit consumers by making COD available on Microsoft's Game Pass on the date released on console with no price increase for this service based on the acquisition. They're referencing that they promised that there would be no price increase. And my opinion on that is it's really easy for Microsoft to get around that. They can list like a billion other reasons why they increase the price, and they could say it has nothing to do with Call of Duty or ABK. I'm not saying that's correct, but I'm just saying that's the way they could probably get around it. And then finally, Microsoft's assertion to the district court that the merger would not result in any increase in price to Game Pass was not true. So yeah, they're still trying to get it on this. Of course, they want to do whatever they can to get this appeal won and get something happen here with you. I don't think anything would actually happen. The deal has gone through. It has been approved, but they're trying to get a win here of some sort by continuously sending letters after the price increase, although I don't think they have really any shot. But I'm going to end the video there, guys. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.